Hello and welcome to Realtor Ray YouTube channel. Here we will be talking about everything real estate, specifically Oregon real estate. Sometimes we will be touching on national real estate, but specifically we'll be talking about Oregon real estate. Now, my name is Ray Coburn. I am a licensed realtor here in the state of Oregon, brokeraged under Exp LLC. And my details can all be found down below. If you look to buying or selling any of your properties here in Oregon, specifically Southern Oregon, but basically I can cover all of Oregon. We have a very large network here with EXP. I'll talk more about EXP here pretty soon. But what I wanted to get at today is selling your house in Oregon in 2024. Now, these right here are expert steps. And these are some things that we, in general, take a look at. Now, a lot of misconceptions is, well, the rates are very high for loans. Certain people cannot get loans, certain qualifications. That is kind of a myth right now. We are seeing an increase in home purchases throughout Oregon. The need for homes and the need for home ownership is still increasing and is still growing amongst first-time home buyers. Now, a couple things that we're going to be looking at here is how to sell your home and getting over that thought or that idea that your home may not be purchased or somebody may not come by and be qualified to purchase your home. Again, that's a little bit misconstrued at this time. There are a lot of people buying homes right now, investment purposes, first-time home buyers, VA home loans, FHA home loans, conventional USDA, a lot of other products out there that are making it easier and more suitable for everybody to purchase homes right now. There are a lot of steps that, as the buyers that are looking to buy those homes work with realtors such as myself, we have a very large connection and network of loan officers, lenders, private lenders, hard money lenders that we can help lead and help design and tailor their needs for buying a home such as your home. So let's get into it. Today we're talking about how to sell your home in 2024. Now, whether you're working with myself, not myself, somebody else, or another realtor. Maybe you're in another state, or maybe you're in another state looking to move to Oregon. By all means, let's go ahead and talk and have that conversation as well. Anyways, if you're looking to sell your home, hire a real estate listing agent or don't. Now, gone are the days when selling your house meant interviewing several agents and finding the best ones for your needs. Today, some of the best for sale by owner sites and tech brokerages will match you with top agents and get you listed on the MLS fast. Now, the MLS, what that does is it lists your home on a national and local MLS market where agents such as myself, buyer and seller representation, are able to go on, find certain properties that might match the criteria for our representative party, whether that be a buyer or a seller. So if a seller is typically selling their home, usually they're wanting to get into another home. In some cases, maybe it's an investment property. Maybe they're looking at getting out of that investment property and into just having cash in their bank account. That's fine. But in most cases, the MLS is a great marketing strategy that allows realtors to let other realtors know, hey, this house that I have here that I have negotiated with selling is now available on the MLS. If you're interested in taking a look at it, contact me, the listing agent, and all that information, details, and everything down below. So I myself, as a buyer's agent, would say, okay, I'm going to set up an appointment to schedule that, put in my lockbox, get the key, show it to my buyers, and see if they might be interested. Of course, there's a lot of criteria such as square footage, bedroom space, bathroom space, neighborhood settings, stuff like that, ease of access to cities, medical, shopping, stuff like that. Everybody has different needs. And so hiring an agent will help get that professional real estate ability to know the area of where you're trying to look and develop into, buying that nest egg or that home, and or investment. And such as myself, I'm an investor-friendly realtor, and I do a lot of, I will be doing a lot of commercial properties, multifamily complexes, single-family residentials, usually income-based, revenue-generating properties, and also those cozy single-family residential homes with beautiful landscapes and stuff like that that might suit your needs. Myself, I like that rustic cabin in the woods with that foggy haze just glowing through the trees and the pines. That's my wonderland. Maybe it's not yours, but let's go ahead and get on to this here. So, sorry. Typical commissions. Clients save thousands by working with realtors, and they can actually get discount brokerages. Some brokers at 1% commission rates, 2% commission rates, 3% commission rates. The rates are not set. So if a realtor tells you, hey, the rate is set, it's not set. What this commission does is the commission basically, you pay for what you get, right? If you want to just list with an agent, the agent's probably not going to go all out and make sure that your house is sold in a timely manner. That commission rate and what that agent's willing to get for the amount of work that they're willing to put in should all be negotiated at the beginning. Now, when it comes to, let's say here we have it posted as a 1%. With a 1% commission, what that might happen is that you get a listing agreement with the agent, and the agent will probably just list it on the MLS, take in a few phone calls, and then that's it. Schedule some, really qualified people, so in that way they're not wasting their time. They won't be really marketing too much. At 3%, that's when everything changes. The agent will be doing calls, they'll be listed on the MLS, they'll be marketing to all of their network outsources, offline parties, connections, sphere of influences, everybody, anybody, everybody. Not only that, they'll also be making pictures, videos, aerial drone photos. They'll be hiring photographers. They'll be making flyers and posting in different businesses, organizations, investor groups, stuff like that. And 4.5%, you've got yourself a golden realtor. What that's gonna do is beyond comparison to anybody that might be 2% or lower in commission. Now, 2% or lower in commission typically also does happen for large-scale developers that might be selling multiple properties. Now, this is where investor-friendly realtors come into, and they say, well, okay, if you have 4, 5, 6, 7 houses, obviously you're not. No, it's not proper. I mean, and it may be proper. And again, it's not. Commission is not set based. It is always negotiable. Please don't get that misconstrued on this channel. So when we're looking at multiple properties, a 2% commission, 2.5% commission typically is going to be about average for selling multiple properties, so long as that agent has the exclusive right to sell listing, right? So what that means is that agent is going to be responsible for all marketing. That agent's going to be responsible for all open houses, showing those properties, and being there, staging the property for each and every listing, monitoring, managing phone calls, dates, times, showing, stuff like that. It is and can be a lot of work. As most agents, they don't have just that one listing that they have to serve. They also have to serve other listings, which can be very complex, very complicated. There's a lot of legalities in representation that realtors, such as myself, have to make sure that we meet those criteria. We are held to certain standards when it comes to being honest, compassionate, caring, loyal, responsible, and so much more. And also keeping your information safe and secure, so in that way it's not shared with anybody else that shouldn't be obviously seeing your information. Now, listing with the full service with the realtor, that when you list the full services with the realtor, that realtor is bringing qualified clients, buyers to your property. They're marketing it in such a way that most without being a professional realtor or a professional in real estate, they can't market the way that most realtors, such as myself, do and will do, such as staging, making sure that the surfaces in the house are more clear, that there isn't so much clutter, that it shows the surfaces and the developments that a new buyer moving into the house could develop and could see. Keeping like curtains white and stuff like that, where it's more very clear and more colorless, where they can picture, if those were blue, if those were green, then that might like it, they might like it on their side. Those type of little details, kind of giving them a blank canvas of the house, decluttering the house, is also a really great way to getting your house sold. Now, pricing your Oregon home for sale, realtors such as myself, we are creating price analysis of your home based off of the market values. And the way we do that is, those are things that hiring a realtor such as myself would do for you, pricing your home based off of the current market value, what we're seeing within the past few months or so, and going from there. Then that sets the price for being able to market your property. Now, hiring a pro photographer is obviously going to be something that a realtor also has a list of contacts that they can get. And typically those photographers, because they're working with the realtor, sometimes they come at a discount, which is really, really good. But it does help you sell your house about 32% faster with those professional photographers. You can do photography yourself, but it obviously, if you want to get your house sold for the highest amount and the fastest timing, hiring a professional, in all cases, hiring a professional realtor, hiring a professional photographer, and doing those type of professional activities is obviously going to get your house sold for the max amount of value. As a representative for a seller, my job is to bring you the highest amount of value possible. As a buyer's agent, my job would be to bring them the lowest price value on the best terms. Now, when those are headbutting each other, basically, it makes a lot of work for the agents. As a for sale by owner, an issue that you would have to deal with if you were representing yourself as the seller is you'd have to negotiate and take a lot of phone calls from a lot of random people that are looking to either buy your house. Sometimes most of them are scams, and you wouldn't want to have to deal with that. There are a lot of wire transfers, transfer fraud, stuff like that. And they are looking to waste people's time. And realtors, such as myself, reduce that risk of having to be defrauded, wasting your time, stuff like that. We take on all that responsibility as realtors to be able to help you list your house for qualified buyers that we have verified that they do have the funds to be able to purchase this house, and that they would like to come in and schedule a date and time to come and see your house. Those types of things are super important when making sure that your transaction goes as simple and as enjoyable as possible. List and market your property in Oregon. Now, as realtors, we all have access to the MLS. I spoke about the MLS earlier, and the MLS is a great source for being able to market your property to other realtors in the area and nationally. So, if there's a realtor, let's say in Kansas or Missouri, and you're moving to Oregon from Missouri or Kansas, they can say, okay, if we sold your house here, they have a house out in Oregon that is for this a certain amount and it matches your criteria. Let's call up a local agent, or let's call up the listing agent. So the MLS is really great for being able to market properties. You can post some really high quality photos there. Listing paperwork. Now this is really where the heart of the labor of the realtor comes into effect. Now, whether you're listing or your representation of a buyer or a seller's agent, as a seller's agent, there is a ton of paperwork that we need to do. As a buyer's agent, there is a lot of verification. There is a lot of disclosures that we need to follow, and disclosures on both sides. And there's a lot of vetting and considerations that we all need to take into consideration. When it comes to listing an agreement, there is the listing agreements that need to be signed by both parties, the seller and the agent. Then there's also a buyer's agreement that has a buyer and the buyer's agent agreement. And then when they finally come together, the buyer and the seller come to an agreement to obviously purchase the property under certain conditions, typically, whether they fix a property, fix that, do that, or that's included in the sale. You know, a lot of those details, and making sure that they're legally documented in that contract, again, takes away a lot of stress on the seller and the buyer side. So representation by a realtor is super important. Managing showings. Who's going to be there to show the house to all these random people that have obviously called you, whether you know if they have money or they don't have money to purchase your property? Having a qualified buyer to come in and show your house with a realtor that is going to be respectable of all your belongings, show the house and all of its great features to increase the value of your property, is super important when selling your home. Next, reviewing, comparing, and negotiating offers. That is also going to be the features and the expertise of the buyer agent and the seller's agent to be able to negotiate certain prices and stick to those prices based off of certain negotiations, and to communicate those with the buyer and the seller as those terms are negotiated. Now then, once the agreement has come to fruition, both parties say, yes, this is what we want to do. Close the sale. Closing the sale is super important. Who's going to be the title company? How is all that paperwork going to go? The title company is going to say, well, we need this document, we need this document, we need this document, we need the funds over here, we need the funds over there. That can be super complicated. Hiring a real estate agent, such as myself, can reduce that stress for you, and again, make your transaction as simple and as enjoyable as possible. Now then, paying for the selling taxes, home selling taxes in Oregon, the transfer tax is a one-time fee, generally costs less than sellers pay at the time of transferring the ownership between the two, the buyer and the seller. You need to pay this tax in a local government body in your area. Those are situations where the realtor will also help document where those funds go, and how basically at the end, the realtor, the selling agent, provides a list of where the funds are to be distributed, and that they work with the title company to associate and facilitate the transaction. And then also making sure that there are certain criteria that are met on the buyer's agent side as well. So again, having these professionals in the transaction, involved in the transaction, can make your life so much easier, so much more enjoyable in the transaction for both parties. And I remember when me and my wife, we purchased this house. It's our first house, and we had a great realtor that worked with us, and it was a really enjoyable transaction. It was one of the We were first-time home buyers, and one of the best things that happened to us was it was an enjoyable transaction because we had realtor professionals that knew what to do, what to say, how to show us certain things. We had thermal imaging. We had foundation inspections, water well inspections. It was a complicated process, and I'm so glad I had a realtor to help me walk me through those steps, because I wouldn't have known those things. And so now, as a realtor myself, I'm investing. Me and my wife are investing. We're looking at other properties and stuff like that. Again, we're always looking for that enjoyable experience when purchasing or selling properties. And not just us, but a lot of folks out there, including possibly yourself, trying to sell your property, or maybe even looking for that next home or investment opportunity. When looking at or selling, buying or selling your property, it's always important to take a look at the pros and cons of doing so by yourself or with a professional. I hope that this video was super informative to you. There are going to be more informative videos coming forward, and we'll also be having some guest speakers on this channel as well. We'll be talking about market trends, market analysis, the do's and don'ts about realty, subject tos, creative financing, and all the likes. Stay tuned. Please subscribe down below. There will also be a link with my information down below if you are looking, or you know somebody that might be looking to purchase a house in Oregon. Thank you so much for watching this video today. I know it was a little bit long, but hopefully it was informative for you. Thank you so much for watching Realtor Ray on YouTube, and you have a great day.